Keep it in the water. Keep it in the water. This is a very rare prehistoric fish.
Canadian Sport Fishing is brought to you by Rapala Premium Fishing Gear, crafted from experience. Yamaha on the water. This is my Yamaha. What kind of Yamaha are you? Dickies, a legend in work since 1922. Lucky Strike. More fish fight with a Lucky Strike.
You know, this is beautiful. We're out here on the Bay of Quinte, and I'm with two good friends. Yuda, who's got the net, and Amir. And we're actually crankbait fishing. We're trying to get a variety of fish using crankbaits. And we've had one large walleye on that you guys didn't see, but I saw. It was about 10 pounds. And now we have a small walleye. I think Yuda, he's ready to come in the net. This guy would be an eating size fish. The nice thing about fishing with Yuda and Amir is that this is Amir's first time fishing. So he's just getting used to the crankbaits. Now Amir, this is a walleye. It's probably the first time you've seen it. It's part of the perch family. It's a pretty yellow color. It has very special eyes. You see how the eyes look like a cat's eye? They're opaque. They can see really well at night. So one of the problems with fishermen is that walleye do a lot of feeding at night. So during the daytime, sometimes they don't do a lot of feeding. But because you're in the Bay of Quinte, the water has a lot of plankton in it. The water isn't clear, so that's very good to catch these fish during the day. This is why this is one of my favorite places to fish. So this guy's little. If he was bigger, we'd keep him for eating. Because one of the main reasons why people fish for these is because they taste good. So I'm going to put him back in the net. Yuda, if you want to gently just put him over the side and let him swim out. I like to release my first fish anyway, you know, so.
Good luck.
Yeah, that was very good. Well, Amir, this is a bass. Actually, I'm going to lift it right with the line in the boat, so we don't need the net. These fish are also very plentiful in the Bay of Quinte. Kind of looks like a tilapia, largemouth bass. And they feed in the same area as the walleye. So this guy is small, but I'm going to be releasing it. Now, Amir, one of the things I've been impressed with when I've been in Israel is the culture and the people. We've made some really good friends, you know. There's just something about the Israeli, I don't know what it is, just their stamina for life, you know. And we've had a chance to spend time with them because a lot of people, when they go to Israel, go on religious pilgrimages, you know, or they go there because of the history. But we love going there because of the people and friends that we've made.
Yeah, well, you know, I can't talk about Israelis and consider to be objective in any way.
Right, right.
But Israel has something about it. People are just very vital. Got some cities in Tel Aviv, in Israel like Tel Aviv, which never goes to sleep.
I agree.
It's a marvelous city, marvelous people. Girls are beautiful, men are impressive. It's really a fun place to be. And unfortunately, it doesn't reflect the way Israel is presented usually into Canadian life. And Canadian people are not being exposed to Israel as it is. But it's very encouraging to see that more and more Canadians are actually coming to Israel every year. We had a record year of tourism. 60,000 Canadians went to Israel last year. 2007 and 2008, we're actually going to have even more. Yeah. And they're having a great time.
Well, the biggest group I was with, 550 of us.
Wow.
So that's a lot of people to go all as one group, and it was wonderful because we went all over Israel, you know, and saw a lot of the beautiful sights. But that's one of the things that attracts me. Besides, the weather's wonderful there. So now I can't, you know, fishing there as well is going to be mind-blowing, just amazing.
Well, we can't wait to see your results there.
Good, good. Now I know there's some more walleye on the Swede line. It's just behind us, Amir. So I'm going to try to keep the boat going just like we are.
Dickey's Sport Fishing Sweepstakes.
We were flatline trolling for muskies. We marked a small blimp on the sonar, and within 30 seconds I had a fish on. It was panic mayhem. As I was reeling the fish in, all of a sudden my line goes limp. She is coming right at the boat. 25 feet back of the boat, a 57-inch muskie launches completely out of the water. Unbelievable.
We'd love to hear your fishing story. Go to our website and enter the Dickey's Sport Fishing Sweepstakes. It's free, and you could win some great prizes.
Wow, that's a big
it's
one.
a gar. Look. Amir, I don't know if I'm going to keep it on.
This is the one I was talking about.
Yeah, this is a long-nosed gar.
They have it in Bass Pro. Bass Pro. There.
The violent guy.
Okay, you know what? Be very careful. Wait a second. Yuda, I don't know. Okay, you try. You know, the problem is, you know what? You better not try to net it. No, look at the spots. This is a very rare prehistoric fish.
They have it in the Pro Bass Aquarium.
Okay, ready? Head first, in the net.
Head first.
Quick, okay, because they like to jump. Now, keep it away from you.
Okay.
I'm going to put a glove on. If you put it down here, hold it in the middle of the boat.
I don't want to get it
put
wet.
a glove
I'm
on.
holding good.
Okay.
It's okay.
I thought it was a walleye.
Wow.
Now, I'll tell you what I'm amazed about.
Where they come from to Canada?
They are, I don't know.
I saw in Pit.
You have to be very careful if he goes to jump that we don't get the teeth in us. Because they have so much power. I'm going to try to. Now, what I'm amazed is that I was able to hook it, Amir. Could you hand me the pliers? They're the last tool at the end there. Just watch the teeth.
No, I was going to take from the net first.
Yeah. I'm going to let you take the lure out. I'm going to go to the front with Amir. This is a gar. Amir, feel the body. It's like armor plating.
Wow.
Feel it. It's like a snake.
It's like, yes,
Look,
like a turtle.
you can hear it, right? Now, look, watch this when I open it up, the teeth. I can't believe that I was able to hold on to it.
Wow, it's like an alligator. That's amazing.
Can you imagine a little fish? It's like a pin cushion. You don't want to put your fingers there. So what I find hard, Yuda, you hook them, but they get off because this is bone. It's all bone. Look at the teeth.
Right?
Yeah, you don't want to put your fingers
Or
there.
like an alligator. Okay.
And I've caught them over 4 feet long. So when I said you can catch almost anything here in the Bay of Quinte, that is a very interesting fish.
But usually they float. They don't go deep. I've seen them floating.
They live deep, but they swim all along the surface.
All along this,
So this is literally a prehistoric fish. They say it's very, very old. What an amazing fish. Isn't that different?
Very
I'm just going to hold it in the water because I've had it out for a little bit. But it's going to take off. Watch, Amir, how fast it's going to disappear. Look. He's gone. Amazing. What a bonus.
Wow.
Now, Amir, I couldn't help looking at your hat. Is this for real? It says Israel ice hockey.
Oh yeah.
You got to be kidding me.
No,
They play hockey in Israel?
they play hockey.
That's the Canadian influence.
There's only
right?
one problem in this hat, that because it's a bit uncommon in Israel, then we call it ice hockey and not hockey.
Right.
But we do have one arena. It's located on the north of Israel, near Metula.
Yes.
That's the place where many Katyusha rockets fell during the war 2 years ago. But that center, which is of a very high standard, is called the Canada Center.
That's awesome.
Because Canadian philanthropists have actually contributed to create Israel hockey. And we actually have a national team that plays on level 3 on the World Championship. We're not as good as to go to Vancouver at 2010, but we're getting there. We have many young Russian immigrants going to Israel, playing hockey, doing a very good job, and Canadians are actually enabling that. The truth of the matter is, the reason why I'm having this hat is that a good friend of mine, Sidney Greenberg, the owner of Astral Media, is actually the main supporter of the Israeli Hockey Association.
Fish and Girl! Adventures in your own backyard!
You know, this is such a nice setting. This isn't just a stream, Jeremy. This is actually a spring. It's coming from the ground, so we call it groundwater. And where we're sitting here, it's shady and dark and cool because this is a mature forest, and that's called a canopy. There's hardly any sunlight coming in, even though it's a sunny day. You can see it out where the open fields are. Now, this groundwater is really important because it's the source of many of our streams and lakes. And one of the things that people take for granted is that sometimes we put toxic things down the sewer drains. For example, if someone's washing their cars with soap, or they do an oil change to their lawnmower or their car, and they don't know what to do with some of this toxic stuff, and they dump it down the sewer, a lot of time that stuff ends up being sucked in by the ground, and then the water carries it and brings it back up in the form of springs like this. People that live in the country rely on groundwater for their well water. And even our drinking water really originates from springs that go into the rivers and into the Great Lakes. So it's very important that people recognize they shouldn't be dumping anything toxic, even now a sewer pipe, because eventually it'll end up in our groundwater. So it has to be protected.
Closed captioning is brought to you by Crown Battery, manufacturers of the Walleye One marine batteries.
Oh, yep.
Go around me.
Nice and around. It looked like it was a bass. We're going to find out here. Yep, it's a small largemouth.
Keep going.
It's his lucky day.
Wow.
Because we're keeping walleye for shore lunch. Nice little largemouth.
Yeah.
So we've caught quite a variety here.
Oh,
Walleye, largemouth bass, and a gar pike. These are so plentiful. You know, there was a time that there weren't any largemouth in the Bay of Quinte. There were mostly smallmouth bass, but today, because the water's gotten clear, we've had an invasive species come into this part of Ontario called zebra mussels. And they've been a real problem because they've made the water very clear. They're filter feeders. So since those, there's been a lot more vegetation growing in our lakes, especially here in the Bay of Quinte. And with that, that has brought in the largemouth bass. So it's very interesting. So a lot of people eat the bass.
Yes.
You know, and they have tournaments, bass tournaments, but we release most of the bass we catch because we really like to eat the walleyes.
Okay. It's gone.
There he goes. He did a final jump,
Release.
which was kind of nice. Now, one of the things that I really like about Israel is that it's got such a diverse culture. There's so many people represented, and I don't know if it probably has to do with the geography, because Israel is, you know, the gateway between Asia and Africa.
And Europe.
And Europe, that's right. And there's people there from all over the world, different religions, different nationalities, different cultures.
It's very true. You know, Canada is also a country of immigrants are coming from many places. But in the case of Israel, for such a tiny place to have so many people, it creates a tremendous vibrancy. We tend to say, if you want to compare, for instance, take Toronto, for instance, just as an example. In Toronto, you have many people living one by the other. You've got Little Italy, you've got Chinatown, you have Little Portugal. In Toronto, 1 + 1 are 2.
Right.
In Israel, 1 + 1 are 3. Because new things are being created all the time because the culture mixes with each other. For instance, where else in the world would you find sushi falafel?
I didn't know there was such a thing.
Well, there
okay,
was.
got to check that out too.
Or if we're talking culture, where else would you find one of the world's most respected symphony orchestra, the
that I
Philharmonic
know
Orchestra,
about. Yeah.
playing while dressed in jeans with belly dancers on the background?
You're giving me some good ideas, you know. I got to make a list of all
Well,
this
it's
stuff.
happening just because, you know, people are not afraid to mix.
Right, right.
And Israel is we call it the land of impossible combination, old and new, holy and earthy, east and west. All of that are happening together, and therefore the breeding, the bringing together of the different culture creates so many new things. It's fusion. Fusion of the best part in culinary, in culture, everything.
Yeah. It's an amazing place.
Just fun.
Well, that's one of the main attractions when we go there, just
Oh,
to
yeah.
see the culture. Keep it in the water. Keep it in the water. Don't lift it up. Quick, quick, Amir. Get the net. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, if you can go around to the back. Yuda, can you get, look at this.
Two. Get them.
This is amazing.
Get them. Get the other one.
The other one, yep. Get him in the net.
It's one.
Okay, you got
second one is
The
gone.
one got off.
One got off.
You know
Wow.
what? Even one is okay. You got, he's amazing. Can you
Never
believe
seen
that? You had
two-
two largemouth on. That is amazing. Was that the first time that's happened to you?
Never happened. Two at the time. Look at that.
Wow. and they were both nice size.
Wow.
So I guess what happened, the one bass got the lure, another bass swimming by saw the minnow, he said, I want it too, right? So he went for it. Well done.
Two eye.
That was
So
pretty
Yuda, you're the
exciting.
champion of the day.
Yeah.
Well, this one got stuck in here.
Okay, if you-
That one
if we-
very bad. This one very.
Okay, hold on one sec. I'm going to get the pliers. You hooked them well. You said very bad. That's, to me, that's very good. 'Cause you won't lose the fish.
What's
Yeah.
the other one?
One. And
Maybe a good shot for two.
yeah, that was
Two
great.
for one.
That was great. Okay, I don't want to get the hooks in you there. Nice largemouth. You know what? It must have been really hungry. The other one too. To both attack
They
the
both
lure
have-
like that.
So this is to release.
Yes, we're just going to keep the walleyes.
Okay.
Because we have lots of fish for lunch. Well done.
Okay.
A good net chop, Amir.
Wow.
Thank you. A bit
Very-
late though.
No, that's okay. It was hard when you have two fish on. I didn't know what it was. I looked and it looked, I didn't know what was going on, if it was one big fish or what.
Two.
You know, I tell people every year that this is the #1 crankbait to use down here on the Bay of Quinte. Whether you're fishing the upper bay, which is the stretch from about Trenton all the way to Deserano, or the lower bay, which is the stretch down in Picton, Hay Bay, and all the way out to Lake Ontario. It's called a tail dancer, and the size is #9, which means it's 9 centimeters long, and the color hot chub. And I stress to people every year that if they're looking to buy this bait, if they don't buy it by about May, they're usually sold out all over Canada. So they're very hard to find. The good news though is that there's a new series in the tail dancer, and it's called a bleeding lip, and I'm going to hold it up right here. And these seem to be available in higher quantities. They call it a bleeding lip because you can see that the lip is red in color as opposed to clear. And it's also equipped with red hooks. Now, even though there's a slight color difference, this is also called a hot chub, and you can see that the base is very similar as far as the yellow. So the new bleeding lip series in the tail dancer, my two favorite colors that work well down here on the Bay of Quinte is the hot chub and also the pearl with the black back. For years, I had a dozen lures that were specially painted for me from Rapala, and they were all pearl, and I did really well with them. Well, now Rapala actually has the pearl color in the bleeding lip series, and they both work really well. These lures work ideally when you're cranking weed lines and the edges of weed beds where you're dealing from about 8 to 12 feet of water, because they'll dive down with a long cast to about 12 feet with an average cast to about 8 or 10 feet. And there's something about the action of these lures, the side-to-side action that they produce, that tail dancer, so the tail slaps back and forth, that really tantalizes walleye into hitting. The other thing that I like about it is because it's so slim, it cuts through the weeds really well, even though it has this long banana lip at the front. So if you give it a sharp tug, if you're using a titanium braid, literally most of the weeds come off. Sometimes when you get a lot of weeds, you have to bring the lure up and take the weeds off. So if you're planning on coming down here to the Bay of Quinte, I would really suggest that you get your hand on either the original tail dancer that I'm holding here in the hot chub, or the new bleeding lip series tail dancer in the #9 size, which is 9 centimeter, in these two colors, and you will catch a lot of fish.
It's a good one.
Okay.
Wow.
Are you sure?
Wow,
Okay,
what
he
a
needs your
pull.
help netting the fish.
What
Here,
a pull.
go ahead. Easy, easy.
Wow.
I hope it's a big walleye.
Big one. This is big.
Okay. Net.
Wow.
Easy, easy, easy.
I
Just
am
take your
easy.
time. If it's a big fish, just take your
Big.
time. Bring him over. I'm going to play coach on this side. Lift the
Wait,
rod up
wait.
if you can, higher. Can you lift the rod up even higher? And come over here, on the right. Okay, I'm going to let you get into position. You guys are going to be a team.
We are already.
You know, I'm glad I brought Yuda. He's doing okay. You know that?
I brought a pro.
Nice
Oh,
bass.
nice.
Nice,
Okay,
big
okay.
bass.
Cook,
Yeah,
cook,
right
cook,
in the
cook.
net.
Whoa.
That's the biggest bass. Wow. Have you caught any big bass? Do you ever fish for bass?
Yeah, I fish, but not like.
Okay, I'm going to let you hold this one.
Wow. Wait, let me see this one.
Plus some vegetation.
Yes, he comes with the
salad.
dressing.
Yeah, that's a nice large one. Here, I'll
Careful.
hold on to your rod. Yeah, that, you know what? That's bigger than I thought. If you grab him by the lip, it's a good watch. No, no, not
Right
there,
here.
not there. You're going to cut your hands. It's better if you take your hand out. I'll show you.
And-
Right, put your thumb in the mouth. Yeah.
Wait, the bottom one?
Yeah, like that. Hold tight so it doesn't shake. Just in the jaw, right there. That's it. Hold him up. Smile for the camera here. Anybody you want to say hi to back home? Your wife, the kids? Look at
The wife, the kid.
Yeah, nice bass. That's a nice largemouth.
Wow.
You know what? He wasn't going to get off. You have one hook in his mouth,
Yeah.
but it stuck good. Look at that.
Wow.
Isn't that a beautiful largemouth? They're nice and green.
Oh yeah.
See, they're the ones that like to be close to the weeds, just like this.
You see, I told you, Amir, how big the mouth. Look
They
how
call this,
Amazing.
the fishermen call this weed cabbage because it looks like cabbage and it's very long. It grows like a corn stalk. And these fish like to sit around it and ambush the fish that come by, just like your lure. Well done. Okay, let's put him back in the net and we're going to release him again. Let him swim away. Beautiful.
Wow.
Look at this. Excellent.
Wow.
Well done.
Wow.
You guys are good. See, as soon as we come to the top of the weed bed, boom, somebody gets a fish. Always in the same spot. You know, we worked very hard today, and I've got a really nice treat for you. Are either of you familiar with this stuff?
Oh no.
It's called fish crisp, and it's a coating. It's a lot of different flours with a little bit of seasoning. I know you like some spicy taste because you had the tuna for lunch. This is Cajun flavored. It's going to taste so good. You know, Yuda and Amir worked so hard today out on the boat. Amir was netting all the fish. Yuda was catching 2 fish at a time on one lure. It was non-stop action. And you know what? We only started at about 10 o'clock, 10:30. And it's 4:45 in the afternoon. And right now we're doing a good old Canadian shore lunch. And you can see that the fish are sizzling. We caught enough walleye to make a really nice batch of fish. So these fish are going to cook for another maybe 5 to 10 minutes. And once they get goldy brown, we're going to take them out and we're going to enjoy them. And you know what we should have after the fish? Maybe some ice cream. Does that sound good?
I love
good
that.
combination.
Oh yeah.
Okay, I'm going to put the lid on just to make sure that it gets nice and hot.
Canadian Sport Fishing has been brought to you by Rapala Premium Fishing Gear, crafted from experience. Yamaha on the water. This is my Yamaha. What kind of Yamaha are you? Dickies, a legend in work since 1922. Lucky Strike. More fish fight with a Lucky Strike.
What I would like you to do, gentlemen, is to sample the walleye from the Bay of Quinte. Tell me what you think. You may take several pieces or one piece. Okay, so go ahead, pass the tray down. Is it okay? It's okay?
Very good.
It's okay.
Isn't it tasty?
Very tasty.
I don't think there's anything like having fresh fish that you can cook and enjoy outside. Eating outside, part of our primitive nature, I don't know. There's just something about having things on the grill. In fishing, I don't know about everybody else, but fishing really builds up an appetite. I really get hungry when I fish. And even when I go on flying trips, this is the highlight. Did you get any back there in the back row? There you go. Thank you. So everybody, you did great. I hope I didn't work you too hard.